Coach Bleil, we appreciate you joining us here after practice. 7th season on staff here in the Piney Woods. One of the longest tenured coaches on staff. Coach, not to harp on last year, but talk a little bit about how the momentum from last year, being able to hoist that trophy, has kind of served in terms of you guys are building this thing the right way.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys on this team have been working hard for a long time to win that championship and prove that we can do it. I think all that does is open the floodgates and realize that the sky's the limit. You know, when you have guys that operate the way our guys do and work as hard as they do every day, I think the sky is the limit, and it just shows them that we got to keep working because there's more out there.
What's your overall thoughts on fall camp? What have you seen from like a broader team perspective that stood out to you?
Yeah, and I think this relates back to last year. I think the difference is these guys find out it's about people. You know, it's not about yourself. It's about the guy in the locker next to you and working for him. And when these guys do that, their potential is unlimited. And so that's been good to see. They've learned from last year's guys and some of those seniors that set the tone for that, and we're building on that.
Coach, looking inside your tight end room, Gerard Ademo was voted as a single-digit number, and there's only so many single-digit numbers to go around. So talk a little about the importance of having a guy like him who was voted to that based on his leadership in your room to help develop the guys around him.
Yeah, I think on this team the only way to earn a single digit is by being consistent in your work ethic, in your mindset, in the type of teammate you are, and to have a guy like that in your room just shows that the only path there is to being a great football player is operating that way daily, and he does that for our group, and everyone else in the room gets to see that.
And Coach, in addition to handling the tight ends, you also oversee the recruiting operations. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be able to, you see a lot of these guys on film. You see some of them in person throughout the years or at the summer camps. But when you finally get them here, you get them in a lumberjack helmet, you get to see them fly around. Just talk a little bit about what that means and kind of how that process comes to fruition year in and year out.
Yeah, recruiting high school athletes for us is a big piece of who we are. It's something that we truly believe in, and you get to spend the process getting to know those kids, and then finally, after the 9-month process, getting them from the early stages of recruitment to signing day to getting them here. It's an exciting process where we get to see the fruits of all that labor, and it's nice because those relationships are already built throughout that process, to where now when they get here they're not strangers, and we know who they are and they know who we are and they know how we operate.
Absolutely. Scenario here for you, Coach. You walk into your tight end room and it's day one for everybody. What's the message that you're sending to that group to kind of set that initial foundation? Yeah,
it's kind of to answer the same way as the previous question. I think it's about people, and if they don't want to be a part of that, if they're worried about themselves and if they're selfish, that they're not going to survive here, because that's not how we built this program. It's all about people, and if they don't want to buy into that, then this isn't their home.
And Coach, one more for you here. Is there a coaching philosophy or a principle that you picked up on over the course of your career that you kind of lean into day in and day out?
Yeah, I think it's again, it's the same exact answer. It's them working for other people and realizing that it's bigger than themselves. And for the longest time, it's all about going and finding one great player and making that guy an All-American, and then it's okay if these guys aren't as good. But that's not what it is. It's about these guys working together for a greater cause, and when they do that, the entire group raises their level, and that's a fun process to watch.
Coach Bleil, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.